Hi, welcome. Today's question is, what if I let go? So today's question is, what if I let go? So this is all about control versus trust. Planting those seeds of intention, as Andrew Wallace says, our greatest ability is to plant seeds of what we intend to create in our lives. And then we have to kind of let them grow. So it's going within and starting to build that trust that those things that we want, that we start to nurture from inside those dreams, those goals, can become a reality. And it's just like a gardener plants their seeds. If we keep going back and checking on them, they don't get enough time to start to bud. So any kind of plants or seedlings, we normally put them deep into the soil, cover them over, put them away somewhere where they're going to be warm, they're going to be nurtured, they're going to be looked after without interfering with them, giving them time to take root, to form some roots so that they can start to grow. And that can be really difficult when we set ourselves goals and visions and intentions, and then there's a period of time where there's nothing happening externally. So we've planted this seed of intention of what we want to achieve in our life, and yet it's not coming in. The more we work on it, it's not manifesting, or it's not manifesting in our timeline. And there's two types of timeline. There's the Monday to Friday 9 to 5 timeline, which is all about doing, the masculine get things energy of action. And then there's a different time, a time called Kairos time, which is outside of our control. It's just universal time. It's the way the world would evolve, and that we bring seasons and control to it so that we can feel grounded. Yet with our intentions to bring them in, we have to sometimes let them go. And I was talking to a friend about this a few weeks ago, in terms of everybody's ability to be able to access their intuition. Everybody has intuition, everybody has their own knowing about who they are, their unique gifts, their unique talents. It's bringing that trust within, it's going within that space. And that's really where we look at feminine energy, the bigger picture. It's about developing that compassion for ourselves, that actually, no matter what's happening on the external world, we still have our own inner knowing about what's happening for ourselves on the inner world. It's beginning to trust that. So remember, our definition of female energy, of female leadership, is about getting grounded. It's about knowing what you think, knowing how you feel, bringing those into alignment, knowing you can move, that you can take action, and being consciously aware that other people have that opportunity too. It's just that that's their choice, that's their freedom, and what you're doing is making sure that you're making choices from your own perspective. So you're making choices that are going to align to your well-being, and that you are able to move with that while seeing the perspective of others, while seeing that other people will have had other journeys, have other experiences, and their worldview may be different. And also they may be perceiving the information in a different way. And this is about recognizing our ability to have compassion for ourselves and compassion for other people, by maybe standing in their shoes sometimes, but recognizing that it is their journey. Somebody may move you away from your own intention, or you may feel that you can't pursue an intention because you may feel like, I'm not allowed, I'm not getting the support or the resources that I feel I need. Yet recognizing that actually maybe a shift in perspective, seeing that that individual, or where we're looking for those resources and perspective, they're not able to give us that at that time. They're not able to meet their needs, and we're not expecting them to meet our needs. We're just looking for the support that we need to make our needs or our intentions manifest. And if they're not able to do that, maybe just let it go. Just find the compassion to let go of the control of expectation of what things should be like. And so this is then getting back into the intuition. And this conversation I was having with my friend was all about, I was saying, everybody has an intuitive knowing, everybody can set intentions. And then it's a conversation of letting go of control. And that is part of the question when you say, what if I let go? Is like, how comfortable are you letting go of control? How comfortable are you that if you let control of something or you create a space for it, that something will come back in? I can even admit that that's sometimes very challenging for me. It's not even sometimes, it's quite challenging for me as well, because most of my life was about making sure everything was in a certain way, that it was controlled in a certain way, that I built walls so that I could kind of keep myself safe, which wasn't really helpful either. So then I had to learn to develop boundaries. And every so often, when I've developed those boundaries, when something new comes along that I want, and it comes along in a way that maybe I didn't expect it to, I can somehow have these defenses go up, and I land back on my backside going, oh, I just didn't expect it that way. And so that's then brings in the question about, how do I let go of control? How do I allow myself to allow nature to take its course, recognizing that, that's part of the curiosity. So my invitation for you today is about questioning, where are you looking to manifest? And when that manifestation comes in, are you letting go of control? Are you letting go of the expectation? Even though it's bringing you everything that you wanted, it makes you feel good, it makes you feel grounded, it makes you feel safe, and yet you're kind of going, well, I just didn't expect it that way. That's a type of, letting that go if it's going to be for your highest good. Where is your curiosity? Where are you curious about, why you're not letting go of control? Is that something from an experience you've had, or is that something that has been passed down family generations, or is that just the way we expect to show up in society, that we feel that that's the norm, and if we go against the norm we might be standing out, and then that could bring threat of rejection, of humiliation, of shame, and that might be because of previous experiences. It might be kind of going, how do you feel about that? Are you able to just let go of the shame, the rejection, the humiliation, and just take a chance by putting yourself out there, and saying how you feel or you think, even if it's really late in the day, or you feel it's late in the day, because with Kira's time it doesn't really matter. There's no real late in the day. We're just moving through life. And so where do you put your defense up when you are receiving? And another part of this, my invitation is where do you dance with life? Where are you dancing with life? And allowing life to dance with you. And if you don't feel you're dancing or you're moving, how do you change your energy? How do you change the perspective from looking in and constantly looking at that seed that's planted down into the earth, and actually take yourself and a wider vision to actually maybe look at, well, what else do I need to let go of to allow that intention to manifest? What are the ways that I'm being, that even though I'm calling in this intention for this beautiful, wonderful life that I want, yet I'm still holding on to the old, when I know that the two energies don't match and they can't work along. So how am I allowing myself to move towards what I want, recognizing that I also have to let go of maybe the way I've been? And so it's all about letting that go with love and compassion for yourself and for others, and to achieve a positive outcome that in the wider picture it will be supportive for everyone. I'll give you an example. I went home and a few years ago, and I have been doing a lot of decluttering, letting go of old things that I have been shipping around from house to house. I moved 27 times in 7 years. I was just not able to ground, I was not able to settle. And it wasn't until 2013 that I started working with a teacher who started getting me very grounded and able to balance what I knew about myself and my own unique gifts that I felt hadn't been seen by others, but also I had been been in a bit of a mess. That's really the best way to describe it. I was in a bit of a mess, and I looked on the outside that I was going places, and on the inside I just wasn't getting grounded. So it was quite an upheaval. So I did all this decluttering. The first thing she got us to do was to declutter everything. And then I realized I had been going around with a suitcase under my bed for best part of 13 years, and that belonged to my parents. I was never going to settle in any other house because I always felt like I was being packed to go back to my parents. And then there was all things that I kept that weren't there. But what I realized was is that hadn't let go of moving out of my parents' home either. So when I went back and I started to declutter the house, and I started to put things back into other people's rooms as well, because I felt we were all on top of each other. Like when I would go back, I wouldn't stay in what had been my bedroom, because actually all my mother's stuff was in my bedroom and I felt uncomfortable with that. So I used to stay in my brother's room, and all of this was going on unconsciously. Yet I wanted to plant a seed of getting grounded. So I went home and I put everybody's stuff back into their room, and then I got rid of stuff. I mean, I'm very good at doing this and I actually enjoy doing it. But I got a skip and I started getting rid of things that were broken. I started getting rid of university notes that I'd never had. I started just getting rid of things that had been kept, that were being kept for a life that hadn't manifested, and in my view was probably not going to manifest at this stage in the way that I would have liked it to. So I needed to kind of sweep the decks, and start to look at how I was learning from this and open myself to a new way of being, to a new knowledge, and recognize as well that it wasn't always going to be the knowledge that I had grown up with. Those dreams or desires or goals that somebody else had were not necessarily going to be mine, and it wasn't going to evolve in that way. So I needed to open myself up to that and realize that I was going to move on. And that's a really good, and so I let go, and of course other things started to fill in. And then that became a process, because it is really about the teacher becoming the student and then the student becoming the teacher. So my teacher taught me how to let go. I'm now sharing with you about how I let go, and maybe you'll go and let go, and then somebody else will let go. Because the more we let go, the more we let go of expectation of others or how we think things are going to be, the better we are to be actually grounded into how things actually are. And then when we know how things actually are, we may then just build up a bit more curiosity and courage to take that next step towards what we really, really want, what we want to open up to, what we want to allow ourselves to have, while letting go of all of the other stuff that was just a learning lesson that we probably had no control over, or that was the lesson. Those things happened at an age, at a certain time, so that we could learn the lesson, and it's either happened on your individual level or it's been passed down family, and you're the first in your family who's suddenly kind of going, oh my God, now I see what's going on. And then letting go of what the expectation, because the expectation is about keeping us safe. When we don't know where we're going. As an economist, we don't know where we're going. We just can be curious about this being a lesson, that this life is a journey and it's a lesson, and it's been remaining open to that. And, you know, I mentioned it in my webinar as well. You know, one of the reasons I went back to learn to play golf was I'd already learned to play golf, but I wanted to get back into a mode of somebody teaching me, because when we think we know it all, we don't. It's about being open to other people's ideas and perspectives and just being curious about them. You may not agree with them, I'm not asking you to. I certainly don't agree with many perspectives, and I think I'm right most of the time. But I also will be open to just being curious about where that perception is coming from, because then that can enhance my own knowing, or it can help me see things from a different perspective. And most importantly, coming from that grounded position, I feel met. I feel that when I let go, I'm going to be supported to move forward towards what I want in my life. So remember, first person one needs is oneself, mind, body and spirit. So my name's Viv Bannigan. I'm the owner of Granuaile Limited. It's a bespoke training and mentoring company, and I support creative and entrepreneurial women who may feel overwhelmed, lack confidence, not sure about the next step in their journey, and they're looking for perspective on their unique landscape and their vision for their future. And what I do is share with them a key framework called a MAP, which works through mastery, action and passion. It's all about taking back control of the reins of your journey and moving forward with confidence. I have a short survey attached. It's in the link below. If you'd like to respond to it, that'd be great. It will help me get more perspective on what other tools and resources I can support you with. If you've liked this video, please like, please share. That is much appreciated. Until next time, have a great weekend.